Brent Hadley here with a pinch of salt. The year was 1975, and a young man who was studying to be a Jesuit priest had just come upon the time where he is to head out into the world for 1 year to practice various spiritual disciplines. Well, when it came time for him to practice the service to the poor, he requested to go to India, specifically to be with Mother Teresa and her ministry called the House of the Dying. This was a ministry that she had started where they would take the lost and the forgotten and the dying on the streets of Calcutta into this monastery and care for them until they were either better or passed away. By the time the young man arrived, he had already spent most of his year away and was almost ready to go back to the United States. During the time out, he had confronted a lot of his own personal humanity and selfishness and confusion, and wondering, what did God want him to do? Where did God want him to go next? Who did God want him to be? One morning, while he was going on his duties, he ran into Mother Teresa in the hallway, and she could see the confusion in his eyes, and she asked specifically what was wrong. Without getting too much into detail, he just asked Mother Teresa if she would pray for him. Well, of course, she said yes, but specifically, what should she pray for, she asked him. Thinking for a moment, he looked up and said, "Clarity. I need clarity." Well, she thought for a moment, and then looked at him and said, "No, I will not pray for that." This kind of shocked the man because Mother Teresa just said, "No, I won't pray for you." But what she said next changed his life. She said, "You don't need clarity. Clarity is the thing you need to let go of. In fact, it's the last thing you need to let go of. I will pray that God will give you trust." The man's name is John Kavanaugh, and he still tells this story today. He's a professor at St. Louis University. So that brings us to our Bible promise, Proverbs 3:6. Proverbs 3:6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight." So I'm going to give you a mostly word-for-word interpretation. I'll take a little bit of interpreting license a couple of times, but mostly word-for-word. So here's what it looks like. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Depend or lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways or things, trust, I'm going to go for acknowledge again, in Him, and He will make your paths straight. Okay? All right, one more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Depend or lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways or things, trust, I'm going to go for acknowledge again, in Him, and He will make your paths straight. And those words changed his life forever. From then on, instead of looking for clarity and trying to understand everything that was going on, or even understand everything about himself, he chose to pursue a ruthless trust. Trust that God loved him, trust that God had the next steps planned for him, trust that God would take care of him. I imagine we can all relate to John's experience somewhat, because we've all been at times in our lives where we were confused about things and, where did God want us to go? What did God want us to be? What did God want us to do? Should I go left or right or up or down? We don't necessarily need Mother Teresa to kind of point out the idea that trust is better than clarity, because God gives us in that Bible promise, let all that go. Let all that desire and need to understand everything go. Don't lean on your own understanding. Trust in me in everything, and I promise to make your life all that it can be and all that I've planned it to be.